find out.
No, seriously, what do you like about what your feedback and what you're seeing from those guys, and how different for you is a summer where you don't have an established guy?
Yeah, we've been through it before. That's here at Tennessee and different spots that I've been. At the end of the day, those guys got to continue to grow every single day. So being in the building, learning our offense, learning defensive structures, having an opportunity to go out on the field, work through it, grow every single day. They've done a great job in the weight room, but leadership, developing relationships with our guys. It's constant growth for them. They've done a really good job in the meeting room, being cohesive, caring about each other. I think that's really important. Strength of one position can never just be one guy. As we're getting to the back end of summer, certainly as we kick off training camp, those guys are going to have an opportunity to go compete, and best players are going to play.
You hadn't seen Joey on the practice field, obviously. You've seen some of him. What do you like of him that you have seen in the summer?
Yeah, we've had an opportunity to be out there with him throwing a little bit, and fundamentally there's some things that we've hit on with him that he's continuing to grow throughout the course of the summer. He's done a great job coming into our program. Got there in May, got a chance to go through the installs. His second time through it here during the course of the summer. He's growing every single day, but his ability to connect with the guys inside of our roster as a veteran guy coming in, just developing relationships, then earning the trust of those guys by how you approach every single day.
How much do you appreciate and respect him? Like, he didn't do any interviews when he just committed and just kind of come in, put his head down, kind of got to know everybody and went to work and didn't make anything about him, just kind of made it about the team. How much do you appreciate that as a head coach?
Yeah, absolutely. I think when you're coming in, how you present yourself every single day that's in the building and outside of it is going to be the perception, certainly early on, of how the players perceive you. And for him to come in, be about his work, continue to grow, first week he was here with all of our guys, offensive linemen, taking them out to dinner, those types of things. Those are our little steps in developing a relationship with guys where you can eventually lead them. And, all three of those guys, Merck and George, have continued to do a great job of that as well, but certainly respect what Joey's done since he got here on campus.
What's your message to Jake and to George as they go into camp?
Man, it's a competition every single day. That's how you handle yourself. That's how you handle success. It's how you handle a bad play. It's the mastering and control and command of what we're doing offensively. All three of those guys know that they're going to get their opportunities. Being urgent in your preparation, going out and competing, cutting it loose, and going and playing ball. And we've been through this before. You look at Joe and Hendon and the way that they competed during the course of a training camp. One guy gets named the starter, another guy gets dinged up, the next guy is in. Those two guys had great relationships. They helped each other. They challenged each other. They're still great friends today. They're both playing in the NFL. I think that represents what's good inside of a meeting room and certainly a quarterback room.
Do you have a timetable on Jermod McCoy when he could be back, or at least a hopeful timetable?
I don't. I think with the injury and his rehab process, it's how he encounters the next phase and next stage as he continues to prepare himself and get ready to play. Saw him the other day as he's going through his rehab. He looks really good. His movement skills are good. It's a progression throughout the course of the end of the summer and through training camp, and we'll figure that out as we get into the season. Keeping in mind, obviously we want him. He's a huge part of us defensively, but his short-term and long-term health as well.
What is it about Jake's progression and what you've seen from him that could put him in that position to compete for the starting quarterback role?
Yeah, fundamentally, has continued to grow, the ability to be accurate with the football through the course of spring. He got better every single day. He handled, a good play, bad play extremely well, was very consistent in who he was, really grew in his command of what we're doing offensively. He's done that throughout the course of the summer too, and when we get to training camp, I'm looking forward to seeing him compete.
Josh, what can young receivers, you got 4 receivers who weren't here, haven't played in a college game, what can those guys do in the summertime to put themselves in a better position to play, and what do you like about what they've gotten done?
Yeah, through our installs, understanding not just what we're doing, but the why behind it, understanding defensive structures, continuing to grow in their fundamentals, in technique, developing rhythm and timing with the quarterbacks, and some of the freedom that we give those guys in man looks, zone looks, just continuing to grow as a player. And their maturity has been really high. That freshman group as a whole, when they got here in January, as impressive a group as I've been around. The challenge for our young guys inside of our program is they don't have time to be young. That's been one of the messages throughout the course of the season. That's for our staff. That's for our leadership to take ownership inside of those position rooms and help those guys grow. Those young wide receivers that you've talked about have done a great job, and anticipate them playing, but also playing at a really high level.
Do you change the way you install or the way you go about teaching when you have a position group that is as young as that group is?
Well, I think subtly you do. Those guys coming back and spending extra time in the building is really important. As you change subtly offensively from year to year, making sure that you control the volume of what's on their plate at a given time. But you look at the winter, into spring, and now through the course of the summer, those guys have really good understanding of what we're doing.
How much is Syracuse?
Last August, there was a lot of stories about Aaron Carter staying late, and coaches like the car still in the garage, and he's just being a student of the game. How much have you seen him continue that and build upon that standard?
Yeah, he's still doing that. You guys will hear from him here in a second. I think Arian is a great example of what we try to do with leadership, of identifying who guys are, but then also helping them grow throughout that through the off season, and giving them the tools to become a great leader and how to impact and affect the guys around you. Nobody is more consistent in who he is as he comes into the building every single day. There's nobody putting in more extra work than he does. What I love about Arian is that he's got the ability to bring guys along with him, and he's done a great job with that linebacker core.
How much is Syracuse on the brain at all?
Week one is certainly on the brain. There's a long ways until you get there. I think it's really important for everybody inside your program to be where your feet are and control the controllables, and the only thing you control is right here, right now, and today. So tomorrow doesn't matter, yesterday doesn't matter. Winning right now is really important.
Josh, how do you view the pros and cons, maybe in a broader team perspective, of going in with an outright starting quarterback versus a quarterback competition?
I think it's really important for everybody on your roster to understand that the best players are going to play, and you have to go earn it. I think that's important at every position. I think that's really important at the quarterback position too. I think a part of being the trigger guy is having the respect of the guys around you, and a part of that is going and taking and earning a job.
Based off the fact you didn't go to the portal a ton, it felt like you really liked that. Idris, Farouk, Evan Spillman, Mike Matthews, that group that either were redshirting a year ago or true freshmen this year.
Yeah.
What was it that made you all decide to kind of go in that philosophy to push these younger kids to the field versus maybe going to the portal?
Well, you recruit them because you believed in their athletic traits, but also who they would grow into being as a person and as a competitor. There's a journey for everybody inside the game, inside of college football. I really like the athletic traits, the physical traits of the young guys that we have in our program. That's, the guys that showed up in January, that's guys that were maybe freshmen a year ago, have great trust and belief that they're going to continue to grow and elevate their play and be ready to play at a championship level. That's what's fun about college football. There's always been, 25, 30% turnover of your roster. That's certainly true in today's landscape with the transfer portal. But that's the fun part of coaching, is helping these guys continue to grow. And I think, the traits of the guys that we had, coupled with where we thought they were going as people and competitors, allowed us to have great trust. And I'm really excited about the young guys that we have inside of the program.
Josh, the commissioner said yesterday that college athletics and football is not broken, it's just stressed. Being in the chair you're in every day, where do you put the state of things, and how challenging is it off the field compared to getting ready to play every week?
Well, it provides great talking points and questions for you guys, right? And they've been the same questions for the last couple of years, and I think everybody inside college football is hopeful for great, strong leadership that's going to provide the path forward for us to have what is the greatest game, stay the greatest game, and continue to get better.
Is it frustrating that it's the same questions now 2 or 3 years in a row?
I don't know if frustrated is the right word, but certainly have answered the same questions for a while now.
How have you seen Miles' leadership skills develop over the past 2 seasons?
Yeah, tough, smart, physical, elite competitor, coaches guys on the field. That could be at the tight end position or, in special teams. He does a great job of impacting the guys around him. A year ago, transitioning into our program, great understanding of what we're doing offensively, allows him to help coach the guys around him. But he's somebody, because of his consistency, that's found a really strong voice, that's got great leadership on, our football team and certainly on the offensive side of the ball.
Dylan Sampson had such a strong leadership role within that running back room. How long do you think his voice is kind of going to linger with him now being gone and moving on?
Well, you hope the traits and the standard that he was a part of setting inside of that running back room never leave that room. That we continue to grow and build upon those things. And DSamp was a dynamic leader, dynamic player. We've had a lot of great running backs. And, a year ago, nobody was talking about Dylan Sampson being SEC Player of the Year. That's what's great about this game, is that, talking season's almost over, and it's about time to go tee it up and go play. And the work that you've put in allows you to expect to play at an elite level. It allows teams to expect to win. But then you got to be intentional during the course of the week in preparation to go play and compete the way that you need to on game day. DSamp's going to have a great career in the NFL, but the values and traits and the standards that he was a part of setting, I hope never leave that room.
The defense has played with a chip on its shoulder the last couple of seasons. How much do you think is that still fueling them, that they want to go out there and still prove something and let the defense lead Tennessee?
Yeah, standards to be elite at Tennessee. You guys, heard me say, it's the home of Reggie White, Eric Berry, Al Wilson, guys that maybe are one of, if not the greatest player at their position in the history of the game. And, for us, there's a lot of things that we had to overcome early in our staffs and our programs, start up 4 years ago or 5 years ago now. We never used that as an excuse. We didn't talk about it because we believe we had the things in there to grow and to win, and proud of what we've done. But, man, we're only going to continue to get better. I know that because of what we've done through a lot of adversity. And the guys that we have inside of that defensive unit room, talking about the players, are highly competitive. They have great physical traits. But there's an accountability factor to doing your job that's at a really high level. And we got great leadership. Tim Banks and our defensive staff have done a phenomenal job since we arrived. And I'm excited to go play with these guys on the defense side of the ball.
As the head coach, how excited are you when you look at your staff, not just your main staff, but like when you had Bonamago, you had Alan Williams and Seth and Marion Hobby, just some veteran guys that have been around and done a lot, had a lot of success.
Yeah, a lot of guys that have done it at an elite level inside of the college game, have done it at the NFL level as well. Guys that are elite teachers that care about the people around them. A lot of those guys have relationships as they were coming into this building. Mary Hobby, former player, former coach. He cares a great deal about the Power T. We got selfless guys that want to impact young people and help them be their best. They got great minds for the game. They're all a great resource for me, but our staff in general too, and they've done a great job with our players.
You talked about the work you put in. Are you getting reports, or have you seen guys really change their body and become stronger, set personal records in the weight room, those kind of things to really change the kind of players they can be?
Yeah, absolutely. This time it's very intentional, focused individually on the gains that you need to make. That's your strength, speed, acceleration, change of direction, explosive power, and then ultimately how do you become a better player, fundamental in technique and understanding of the scheme. Our guys have done a great job throughout the course of the summer here as we get ready to wrap it up, of changing their bodies and putting themselves in a position to go be their best.
What kind of building block is the college football playoff appearance toward the ultimate goal of a national title?
Yeah, end of the day, you want to play here in Atlanta, play for a conference championship, win it, and get in the playoff and go win that thing too. Proud of the steps that we've taken. Everybody inside of our program that will tell you that the taste that was left in our mouth in December, make sure everybody understands that's not the goal. And we want to get in it, but you got to go win. And, it's been a part of, helping us be challenged every single day throughout the course of the winter, through spring ball, and certainly through the course of the summer.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Hard question, just take a.
We didn't ask.
last year, Gerard Mayo was a guy that you said you looked up to.
Yeah.
How do you feel like you've lived up to wearing that 7 over the last 2 years?
Yeah, I feel like I've been able to represent that number well, and just be able to represent the Power T and just this university as a whole. And I feel like just to continue his legacy and just the impact that he's had on this program and what he's done for this program and this for me, and just putting me in this great position to go out there and represent that number. It's a great honor at that.
Ariel, on a scale of 1 to 10, what's your confidence level in this defense and why?
A 10. I honestly feel like Coach Banks is going to put us in the greatest position possible to go out there and win behind our defensive structure. We trust him whatever we're going to do, and we go out there and we execute to the best, full of our ability, and just counting on all 11 doing their job at one point, just having all 11 on one page and just going out there and representing our culture and our football team in the greatest way possible. I can't wait to go out there and go and prove that this season coming up.
You guys won a lot of games last year because of defense. Maybe that wouldn't have been the case as much 2 or 3 years ago. Do you think the image has changed of this program, that's more of a defensive team?
Well, I feel like we just bring back that grit, that relentless effort, that toughness, that original Tennessee culture that we've always had, and to restore that and bring that back to its full ability and full core and full tilt. It's a great thing to see, and we just want to continue that and exceed the expectations of what it is for next year and the years to come.
Speaking of relentless effort, you certainly had that last season with how much you were studying the game and just how long you stayed in the facility. How much are you doing that this season after seeing the results this season ago?
Yes, ma'am. I'm doing it times 10 at that. I feel like, preparation is key. I feel like we always talk about there's a difference between being ready and prepared, and we always want to be prepared as soon as we step on the grass and meet at that 50. And we want to make sure that we've done everything from Monday to Friday to put ourselves in the best position possible to go out there and win on Saturday. So just going out full tilt and just bring guys along with me, With me doing this and me having a full 3 years under my belt of doing this and being at having a certain level of experience, I just want to bring young guys along on this team to make sure we can, as a whole group come together and, bring young guys up to rise to our standard.
Is there a player in particular that really is like following you along and kind of doing what you're doing?
Well, I feel like the young guys, especially in our linebacking group, they're great. Very skillful, very young, very talented, and willing to learn. And I feel like the 3 guys we got in with Brendan and Jaden, both Jadens, Jaden Perlotti and Jaden Harmon, those guys, they always follow behind me, and they always follow behind, guys like Jeremiah T. Lander and Ben Bolden and other guys and vets in that room that, that we got to show up and we got to set the example for every day. So, bringing those guys along and having those guys with me long, endless nights of meetings and just studying film, they're going to get better, and we're going to be even better on top of that in the long run.
Aaron, how do you feel like you've developed as a leader coming from your sophomore year now going into this season?
I feel like still room for improvement always, but I feel like I've done exceptionally well as far as bringing guys along. The biggest thing was being able to get the young guys in and show them our culture and what we bring and what the standard is, and we don't deviate from the standard wherever we are. As far as like being having the culture set for Tennessee and just like showing guys what it is, I feel like being able to uphold the standard and exceed that and just match it every day and exceed to be +1 every day.
Aaron, can you take us inside the bond you and Jeremiah T. Lander, Power T, have together?
Power T, that's my guy. Yeah, that's my guy. Me and Jeremiah, we've been roommates in the dorm since freshman year. Getting here, we both came in early enrollee, great opportunity to go in for the Orange Bowl and just learn and piggyback off of each other. Having a guy like that right beside you, it gives you all the confidence in the world, especially in times of need, especially when we needed him last year when Keenan went down and he was able to come in and step in and be that role guy and be that leader that we needed him to be and go in and be that game changer that we needed him to be and have a guy like that around him. It's so great to see his growth from year 1 to year 3 right now, and I'm so blessed to have a partner in crime right beside me like him.
Going back to that preparation piece, is that something that's always been a part of your game since you started when you were young? And what did that kind of look like when you were going through your high school years?
Yes, ma'am. I feel like preparation has always been key for me. I feel like being an underdog, always having that chip on my shoulder to go out and just, be able to not only necessarily show it on the field, but be able to reiterate it and teach it and learn it to my peers as well, and just be able to go and be a master of the game. that's something I've always wanted to do. You know, me and my mom, we always joke about it. We're perfectionists, and you know, it doesn't matter how many times I need to do it. I want to do it to the best of my ability until I can get it right. And, you know, and I'm gonna do it to the best of my ability as I can. And
You've had to play through injuries the last couple of years. What was your off season like? How healthy are you now?
yeah, a lot of strenuous rehab, a lot of prehab, a lot of yoga, a lot of stretching, a lot of mobility, endurance, a lot of things going into this off season that I've been able to pick up on, just learning from older vets or guys that's in the league that used to be that were former teammates of mine, or coaches that I've been able to come across and just pick up little bit by bit, you know. Just being a student of the game, honestly, that I've been able to pick up on and add to my repertoire, as you would say, to be able to go out there and be full tilt when it's time to go kick off the season.
Shoulders good?
Yes, sir. The shoulder's great. I feel great.
You talked a lot about leadership. What does it mean for you to be a leader in this linebacker room?
It means everything. It means everything to be a linebacker here at the University of Tennessee. I don't take that very lightly at all. I feel like to have this opportunity is special. It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and just to be out here and be at the forefront and be able to lead my guys and just the defensive unit and the whole team as a whole is just a blessing, an opportunity I can't wait to go do.
But two more for Arion.
What is it about Coach Inge that makes you guys want to play for him?
You know, you wake up every day and you just, we always talk about stepping into the meeting room and stepping on all 10 as soon as you hit the floor, ground running. What do you want to improve on today? And that's something that we talk about all the time as far as like having a paradigm shift. And he's really set that in my mind, and we've really created that offset of a culture now to be able to have a guy like that that's just passionate. Very compassionate, very intelligent, very wise. Somebody who has years of experience of playing, but also being in the league, being where I want to go, coaching there. Also, it's a guy like that you wouldn't want to not be coached from every day. And him coaching me and pushing me to our best ability, you know, you're only gonna see greatness.
What kind of building block is the college football playoff appearance for the program as a whole?
Oh, I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
What kind of building block, in your eyes, was the college football playoff appearance for this program?
Yeah, I feel like the building block, as far as like it was what we needed, you know, just to be on that. All we needed was the platform and the stage to go out there and prove that we were there, and with us being able to go out there and prove that we were allowed to be on that stage and that we could go out there and compete at the highest level. Now it's time to go push through that barrier and go compete for a national championship.
Thanks, Arion.
Thanks, man.
Thank you.
Bryson here next. Great job, Sean. Good stuff. That's why you can run on the plane now. Day drinking.
Everybody else, just you.
Same old, same old.
Most of you guys here this year on same numbers.
Did you get some advice from Amari this last 2 years?
I sure did. I sure did.
All right, and we'll take questions for Bryson Eason.
Bryson, this is year 6 you're going into. Does it even feel real, and how would you analyze your growth from the time you stepped on campus to now?
Just the growth as a young man and leadership-wise, a football player. Just looking at it all back, it went by so fast, and very grateful for the opportunity I have. I talked to a couple of older guys, and we just like, man, it's all coming to an end. So we just gonna take full advantage of it this last season.
Everyone talked about how you guys played with like a chip on your shoulder. How much does that maybe come from Coach Banks, or is that something that comes from within the players, and is it still a chip on the shoulder this season?
I think just as defensive guys, you know, we always got that chip on our shoulder in some sort, and not allowing teams to score. And we just got that greediness, that grindiness of wanting to be one of the best defenses in the country, and we're going to work towards that. And we got a lot of great guys in the building to help us along the way.
Bryson, why do you think that changed the last few years where this has turned into a defensive team?
Just the guys' attitude and how we approach it. And, you know, no matter what goes on the offensive side, we got to have their back no matter what. So I think just inside the building on how it's a brotherhood, you know what I'm saying? You got to have your brother back no matter what. So I think that would kind of build it up into that thing to where we just have to, you know what I'm saying, go all out on defense.
Bryson, why do you love the college game so much? I mean, you have obviously had opportunity to leave. Why do you love the college game in Tennessee so much?
I talked to a couple of guys who've been blessed to make it to the next level, and they just always talk about the brotherhood and how the team is just so close. You know what I'm saying? And you won't be able to get the experience there at the next level. So I'm just taking advantage of that opportunity, and also just to get better with my game and work on some things.
What is that like? Your whole life you've worked to get to the NFL. You've gotten good enough to have those opportunities. Is it hard to come back when you know you have that waiting for you?
It's not hard when you come to a place like Tennessee. You know what I'm saying? Great community, great people. Coach Hype and his staff has done an amazing job of building the culture in that building. And I just love to go to work and work with the guys that I go to work with every day. So it's kind of like secondhand nature. You know what I'm saying? Like my second home for real.
Some of the traits of some of the young guys that you see that kind of excite you, that when they develop and get better, they can really be impact players for you?
Man, just how they listen and how they just so locked in. And we have a saying, it's no time to be young, and they really just embraced it and take that in. So just seeing the guys, how they work and how they go about their business says a lot, because I know when I was a freshman compared to, what I'm saying now is a huge difference on just how serious and in detail they are with what they work and what they do.
Bryson, speaking of being young, I interviewed you after the freshman year of high school. It's been about 10 years ago.
Yeah.
You had just won the MVP of the state championship game as a linebacker.
Mhm.
Look back at that kid. What are you most proud of? Where you've come and what you've grown into?
Just the adversity that I've came through with my body and the position change. Some people, at first, I would say I was not embracing the D-line position at all. It's a whole different ball game if you ask me. But, having a great coach and having great players to play with like Big O and Omar and James and all the guys that, last year, even with this year, like Jackson, all my young guys, man, they just make it so easy for me and keep pouring into me, which just makes it, again, so easy. So it's just come natural, man. And I've been enjoying the process of the switch of the position change.
The camaraderie in the defensive line room stayed the same. You guys have a lot of new faces. Some of the guys that you came in with have been around for a while, have moved on. What's the personality of that room and how it's changed?
Honestly, it ain't got no choice but to be, stay the same, because you got guys like me and older guys like Dominic Baylor who just uphold their standard. And I feel like we, good football players or whatnot, but we good human beings. So treat everybody with respect, love on them, you know what I'm saying? Correct them when they wrong, and we all just love on each other to make it easier. It's not coming nowhere out of hate or nothing. I'm not coming at you. I'm just correcting my brother at the end of the day.
What kind of pride and maybe motivation do you take from the college football playoff appearance?
I have other friends that play college football as well, and just to know that I got that opportunity, they didn't, even though it didn't go the way we wanted to, it was still a very, very good teaching moment for us, and for us to come back on this year and know what we want to do and what we expect. So it was a great experience for us, I
With
believe.
how much the defensive line rotated last year, how do you think that kind of sets you guys up for success with losing 3 starters?
It just means that other guys have to step up to the plate and, man, fill those shoes or be even better, you know what I'm saying? So it's really no pressure on those young guys or transfers or whoever didn't play, but they know they have to step up, and I think they're ready for it. I see it in each and every day that they work.
Jackson's a guy did not grow up around here, transfers in and really embraces what you guys are all about. What impressed you the most about how he adjusted to Tennessee?
Nothing really impressed me, man. Jackson's just a great human being and person. I feel like that's what it comes down to the most. Ain't nobody got no big pride or just no big buttholes or nothing. Like, he's a good guy, so we all just, click and, find stuff that we like. Like, when Jax first got here, we'd play NCAA, man, until whoever had the most wins and play Fortnite with each other. So it's just little stuff like that outside to just bring up the brotherhood and make us close and cool with
Have you
one
played
another.
26 yet?
Of course.
How are you compared to 25? Are you better at 26?
Yes.
Something to look forward to.
Yes, sir. It's something to look forward to. I feel like I'm way better.
Who's the best 26 player?
In the D-line, I'm going to say me. In the D-line, I'm going to say me.
Last year, you guys kind of described Tennessee's defense as just pure carnage. Do you guys have a mindset or a one-liner that you're going into the season with to describe the defense as a whole?
Right now, I wouldn't have one for you, but I know one thing, that they are going to be working, and they're going to have relentless effort, and it's going to be 11 hats to the ball.
Seems to be like Gary on Carter and how much like he is just studying all the time, and the guys that are following behind him in the linebacker room. How important is it to have a guy like that come back that sets the tone when it comes to being a student of the
Man, it speaks volume. Like when AC talks in the unit, whatever we doing, everybody's listening because he just earned their respect and has a lot of guys in the building respect. So, you know what I'm saying? It's great, you know what I'm saying? You got somebody that's going to come and give you a Ray Lewis motivation before the game. So we be looking forward to it, and we appreciate AC a lot.
What's the thing that you're most looking forward to about one final season wearing orange and white?
Man, just going out there and knowing that I get week by week to have fun with my brothers. Like, football is fun. It should always be fun, and that's what it has been for the past couple of years for me. So just, man, getting ready to strap everything up and going to have fun with my brothers and, you know, and having it mean something, you know what I mean? Go out with a bang.
Thanks, man.
Yes, sir. Thank y'all.
We'll finish up here with Miles.
I'm good. It's funny. He was saying nobody is.
Nobody is, not even there.
I think there's like 60 next year.
All right.
No, Jimmy's like 70.
All right, we'll take questions from Miles Kitzelman. Miles, first things first, how's the rehab coming from the spring? You expect to be ready to go for the season?
Yeah, it's going good. Ahead of schedule right now. Just trying to focus on day by day. And yeah, I mean, everything's going ahead of schedule. Doc says that he can't tell the difference. So just feeling strong now, getting back out there on the field with everybody. And yeah, we should be good to go.
What's been your initial impressions of Joey, him coming in? What have you seen from him this summer?
Yeah, Joey's one of those guys. It's kind of like when you meet, you meet somebody and immediately like hit it off. You guys both have the same sense of humor, similar personalities, and it's kind of like you've known each other for a while. And it's something that doesn't really happen a whole lot. But first week Joey was on campus. We went out to eat, we hang out. He was like, "Hey man, you play Fortnite?" I was like, "Yeah." in a little bit with our few spare hours that we get. And so, we play Fortnite almost every night. It's just one of those guys that you click with right off the bat. And I think that that's super special.
How special is it, especially him being the quarterback, you being there at the tight end, also you being there to protect him as well, to have like that instant connection, despite him coming in so late?
Yeah, I mean, it's one thing to be on the same page as far as players, but I think it's even more important whenever things aren't going right, and you need to have that conversation with somebody, and it's a difficult conversation to have with them, whether it be at halftime, coming off of a bad drive. When you do have that personal connection with somebody and you go call them out, they come call you out, it's not just somebody that you don't have a relationship with, and he's coming at you in a way that you may not take the right way. But whenever you have that connection with somebody and you do get after them and you have that difficult conversation with them, it's coming from love, and it's just because they want to see better from you and they want what's best for the team. So yeah, that connection means everything.
Is Joey more of like a one-on-one guy you guys hung out, or is he more of a group guy? We heard he took the lineman out for dinner. How is he interacting with the other guys?
Yeah, I mean, Joey is one of those guys. It's like, "Hey man, you down to go do this?" And it's like, "Yeah," every time. So I think to put it in a simple way, Joey's like, "Hey man, we're going to the pool." He's like, "All right, I'll be there in 5." So.
Miles, last year was your first season with the Vols, but it seems like you really bought into the program pretty quickly. You're on the leadership council. What separates UT's program from others that you've been a part of in the past?
I would say how well these guys accepted me here. Just everybody kind of putting their pride down as far as I'm the new guy. We're going to try to show him how we do things around here. Like, it wasn't any of that. It was, "Hey man, this guy can help us go win. We need to embrace him as much as we can." And I just took that and ran with it, and I've tried to do everything I can to give it back to him.
Season ends in Columbus. You find out you get another year of eligibility. What was the timeline like, and how did you find out that you had another year?
Yeah, man, that was those were some crazy times. Going from, "Hey, I need to start getting ready for the NFL," to, "Okay, like I'm coming, I get another year, I get to come back." And man, just like even thinking about it now, it gives you kind of chills just because I prayed about it for so long, and I knew that having an extra year would truly change my life and change my family's life, God willing, staying healthy and all that kind of stuff. And so just be able to have that extra year with my brothers and, kind of last year just working my way in, didn't really feel like I had that voice yet because I still had to prove myself, and now coming back another year as a leader on this team and hopefully somebody that can help us go win ball games, and just having that voice and being able to coach other players. It's everything that you dream of, not just being a part of a program, but being one of the leaders in it is something I feel like I was born to do.
How quickly did you, once you found out you could come back, did you decide, hey, I'm coming back? Was it
Oh, yeah.
pretty quick?
Yeah, no
Instant?
doubt. Yeah. No, it was a very easy decision.
How has your perspective changed through the time you say you spent praying or through the injury, getting this extra year? How does that change your perspective coming into this season?
Yeah, I think last year, I didn't play a whole lot. Last year was really my first true season being on the field, and it was definitely a confidence issue. Do I really belong in the SEC? Do I really belong in college sports? Am I good enough for this? So last year was a lot of confidence building, a lot of can I actually do this, to where coming into this year it's like, okay, I know I belong, I know I can do this. How can I improve my game in these little aspects that I wasn't really focused on last year because I was so wrapped up in do I even belong here? So it's just huge having that confidence. I mean, if you're a ball player, you know that confidence is everything. And now that I've built a little bit of that up, I can focus on other aspects of my game.
Miles, as you built on that confidence, did you have moments where you thought, man, if I could just have one more year in this offense, one more year in this program, how much further I could take my game? Did that cross your mind in October and November as things were winding down?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we were trying. Our compliance team was trying. We came up with every single, situation that we thought that we could attack, trying to get another year, and we were doing that for months. We started that all the way back last April, trying to get me another year. So yeah, it was a long time that I'd been thinking about that. Just one more year could change everything for me, and I just can't thank God enough for giving that to me.
And to have that final year with Tennessee, how special is that for you?
Yeah, everybody talks about culture wherever they're at. Our culture is this, our culture is that. But Tennessee really is like family to me. And I know, whether God wants me to go play in the NFL and have a long career or not, and, he could take this game away from me at any moment, I know that I'll have these connections, and it's really bull for life in Tennessee and Knoxville, and I couldn't ask for a better family surrounded by me.
What's the one thing that we need to know about the tight end room?
Gosh, could you repeat that?
What's the one thing we need to know about the tight end room?
Yeah, the tight end room. Man, one thing I really love about our tight end room is that we're all together, and they allow me to lead them. I love that. I love how the younger guys kind of just put their pride aside. It's like, yeah, I was a 4-star. Yeah, I was a 5-star. Like, I love how those younger guys just kind of put that to a side. Like, okay, this isn't high school anymore. Ethan Davis, myself, those guys they've gone and done it. They've won football games. They've played a lot. I'm going to put my pride aside, and I'm going to listen to them. And because of that, we've all gotten on the same page and on the same line, and we all hold each other accountable. Like just the other day, Jack Van Dorsler held me up to the standard in our lift. And not very often do you have a freshman that has the confidence to call out a senior like that. And I love that because I need that. I need people to push me. So.
What do you draw from the college football playoff experience, and how do you put that in perspective in terms of this season?
Yeah, kind of like what Bryson was talking about. It was a great learning experience. We're not going to cut around corners. It sucked. But at the same time, that's the taste that we have in our mouth right now. And we're going to come out and we're going to play hungry and play fast because of that.
You and Arion were on stage there after the spring game talking about how you were going to respond to the quarterback situation. How has that, now that Joey's here and everything, and you've got that competition ongoing, how has the team responded to that whole situation?
Yeah, like what I touched back in April, man, this just breeds competition. And I love that because, when you're a named starter, even like myself, I struggle with this, getting comfortable. I'm the 5th year. I don't necessarily have to go do extra work and that kind of stuff, but then I have to bring myself back and thinking that somebody else out there is trying to take my spot. And I think whenever you have, 3 guys in a room that are all competing and saying, no, I'm going to watch more film, I'm going to do more rehab, I'm going to take care of my body better, and they're all competing, not only does that make themselves better, and that's going to put us in a better position as a team, but that makes everybody better.
Back in the spring, you mentioned that there's individuals and there's teams that operate as one team. How have you seen this team take another step forward in being one cohesive unit throughout the summer?
Yeah, kind of what we were talking about with Joey, talking about, hey, man, we're all going to the pool. and we're all there. I mean, I think, man, it was like a random Thursday night. We maybe had 40 or 50 dudes just hanging out at the pool, just getting to know each other, and I think that that's awesome. You know, I told my dad about that, and you know, he just couldn't get enough of it about how awesome that was. And you don't see that everywhere. You don't see 50 or 60 guys on a football team come together on a Thursday afternoon and work on our tests that we have, our position tests that we have on Fridays, and stuff like that. Just talking ball and getting to know each other and building those connections.
Miles, why do you think that this team has taken on that personality? Was it what happened in spring? Was there a leadership movement that, hey, we need to be closer in this current climate of college sports? Why do you think this team is built the way you're talking about them being built right now?
Yeah, I think whenever you have something happen like what we had in spring, you have guys that kind of fall out and don't necessarily buy into it, and then you have a lot of guys that kind of have that chip on their shoulder. And I think that, you know, everybody has came together on the same page, saying that we're all going to need each other if we want to go out and do what we really want to do.
Anything else for Miles?
Yeah, mentally, how did you get back to that point to where you knew you belonged in the SEC? What did you do?
Oh, I just went out and played. You know, I had an okay season last year, but it's nothing compared to, you know, what I know I can go do. But really just being out there, you know, starting in 13 games, that naturally builds your confidence. But like I said, I have a lot of work to do. And just because I have a little bit of confidence doesn't mean that I can be comfortable.
Thanks, Miles.
Thank you, Miles.
Thank you, Miles.
Miles, where's this pool at?
Yeah.